Ooh, welcome everyone to another episode of Slasher Scotty. I am your host, Scotty McCoy, and boy, do I have a surprise for all of you. I have on Zoom with me right now Robert Bess, and he played Rick, or will be playing Rick, in the upcoming film Slumber Party, Slaughter Party 2, and he's also a pretty big name in the indie filmmaking community. How you doing, Robert?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so glad that we can make this happen. I think we had a schedule for January and something came up and we rescheduled to this month. And you're my second interview of the month, and I am completely booked this month.
Yeah, awesome,
So,
man.
yeah, I'm really excited about that. So, I guess the first question I got for you is how did you get your start into acting and filmmaking?
Well, basically, I started out. I was a hunt actor before I become, an indie actor
Mhm.
and stuff like that. I did a lot of hunting attractions in the area, the Virginia area.
Mhm.
I was part of Hunt Club Farm. I was part of Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. SeaWorld owns it now. I was part of the Howl Scream for a number of years. Got my start there. Played diverse different characters, in the haunted realm of things.
Mhm.
And that's basically where I started. Met a guy named Michael Copon that played the Blue Power Ranger and the original Power Rangers. And he had a studio here at the time a couple years back, and I was in a movie called Dystopia that I have right here.
Nice.
Um, and him and Al Spinza from The Sopranos and tons of others were in it as well.
Nice.
Um, wow, Eve Murrow, if you're familiar with who she is.
Nice.
That's where I got my start there. Then it was Affairs of State and the Gateway and everything else came along. And yeah, it was a kind of ripple effect. It was, it's been a fun time so far.
Nice, nice. So how did you happen to become involved with Slumber Party, Slaughter Party 2?
I know Dwayne Etheridge from, of course, like Facebook and social media. I do a lot of social media networking and stuff like that within the indie film industry. So I meet a lot of diverse people within the industry. There's so many people out here that do great work, as far as the indie film industry goes and
Mhm.
stuff like that with the hard junior.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as you know, there's a lot of politics and stuff like that. So I mean, I try to steer clear of all that stuff and
Yeah.
try to keep my head on the right, on the right track.
Hmm. Absolutely. And speaking of politics, and this question was actually written in before the whole outburst of Halloween Evil Lives that came to light today. But and they've had at least three Indiegogo crowdfundings and made quite a bit of money off of it. And then all these allegations came out about it. So I guess my question for you is there any advice that you would like to give people who would like to donate to an indie films Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign? Like, what advice would you give to them on so they can kind of be, I guess, be reassured on why a couple of bad eggs shouldn't spoil it for the good bunch?
Well, I mean, I'm really picky on. I mean, especially now. I mean, I've been involved with two. I was involved in two films that things kind of went haywire. Things kind of
Mhm.
went south with things as far as like I mean, you gotta do your research. I mean, if they have credible, even any credibility at all
Mhm.
on being a filmmaker or anything like that, because I mean, there's a lot of people out here just trying to make money. I'm not trying to drop any names or anything like that, but it's just they're not out here for the love of the art. They're not out here
Right.
to make art. They're not out here to make something that everybody can enjoy. Some
Mhm.
people want to do it for other things, and
Yeah.
I mean, the best advice I can give is just learn the credibility
Yeah.
and then proceed on if you want to invest, if you want to act with them, whatever the case may be. Because I mean, credibility is everything in
Yeah.
this industry. I mean, your credibility
Yep.
and your reputation, and of course, I mean, it's always been professionalism, skills, and
Yep.
the whole other 9 yards. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I got out of Halloween Evil Lives today when I found out about it, because like I
right,
mean, first of all, with all the allegations with my friends that were involved, like they were affected, and I don't want. I would be a dick and a bad friend if I were to not if be like, well, that happened to you, but I still want my credit. But
right,
reputation is everything in this industry. If you have no reputation, you have no film, you have no projects, you have no nothing.
that's right, that's right.
It really is a big reputation gain, and every you just if you don't know the person, because some people have to get their start somewhere, and some
Yeah,
people are doing their first Indiegogo. If you don't know anything about them, reach out to them and kind of see, because when they're talking to you, then you can kind of determine, are they legit, or are they just bullshitting you? And then there's people like
Yeah.
yourself and Willie Berger, Michael Taylor, Greg Gilbert, myself, people that are in the community that are able to give you advice on if they've done previous work as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I guess what like people that are, I guess, getting their start as in the career as an actor, they say they want to become an actor in the indie film industry. Do you have any advice for them on how they can pursue that?
Well, I mean, get you a good agent. Get you good. I mean, before I had an agent, which is, I mean, there's a lot of drama that surrounds so many different people, and then like I said, the film industry as a whole, entertainment's is such a difficult place, to be a part of, because everybody's trying to get to one place and one goal, and everybody's looking to be that lead or that supporting actor. So I mean, get you with a good agency. I mean, I got most of my stuff when I first started just by reaching out and networking, with different directors, find the credibility, if they were even credible to work with, the whole nother 9 yards. I mean, if I wouldn't, I'll tell people, if I never would have met Michael Copine and Adrian Brenner and all those guys, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at now. Because they really just opened the door with, like, the whole networking thing, and they know Jason Font, because Michael Copine, he was part of the Power Rangers. So I mean, they all, they're all friends and stuff like that. So I mean, it was one of those things that, like, I kind of was in the right place at the right time. Adrian Grinner, with Affairs of State, he came into my gym, he was, and one day, and, like, I mean, I had just submitted the night before to be on set for Affairs of State, and I saw him in a gym, and I didn't want to be one of those guys that was just like, hey man, you're so and so, like, I mean, because everybody's like, oh no, don't say that, when we're in public. But it's just one of those things, man. It's like, right place, right time, and my best advice for that stuff is just get you a good agent, get you a good agency. I mean, networking's everything, especially in the indie filmmaking industry, and acting as a whole, man.
It is. And for those people that would like to be an actor, also realize that 98, maybe 95, whatever percent of it is being rejected. So if you get rejected from a role, definitely, keep applying, keep auditioning, because just because you're rejected for these roles doesn't mean you're a bad actor. It means that you just weren't right for that part. And it took me like, what, 3-4 years just to get an agent, to get my own agent. Now I'm signed by a literary agent and a talent agent, but I mean, it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yep, it doesn't happen overnight, and also it's not going to happen if you don't get off your ass and work, because that's what you got to do. You got to work.
That's right.
It is a job.
Work ethics, everything.
It really is. And I mean, like I said, I don't plan on becoming big and famous and all that, and I'm sure you don't plan on that. We do it for the art, but if we get that, the fame and fortune, that's just that's just an added bonus. But otherwise, we're doing it for the art. That's what this is. It's all about art, networking, having fun, making friends.
That's right.
And,
Absolutely.
So what do you believe is the hardest part in being an actor, and what do you believe is the easiest part of being an actor?
Oh man, I mean, the hardest part, I'll say, with being an actor is just, like, get into the right mindset of your character. If you looked at a lot of people, like Heath Ledger, he really had to tap into that character. He had to tap into how to be the Joker, or how to critique the role, how to be that role, without having to rip off anybody else, rip off anybody else's work, like, he had to make that his own, and, like, live, sleep, and breathe it. And that's one thing I loved about Heath Ledger. He's one of my favorite actors. Is, like, I mean, he really, put his work in to be the role. He made it. He made that role his of his own.
There was plenty of Jokers that came before him and plenty that came after, and he had to make it originally. He had to do it himself, and he did it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. What about the easiest part? What do you think the easiest part of being an actor is?
The easiest part, wow, man, just, I mean, for me, it's never like I've had to work my way up on how to memorize lines. But I mean, I find that, like, a lot of actors have a tough time memorizing lines, but I mean, I really don't have that problem much anymore. I mean, I kind of pounded that cat. I mean, that You know,
Right.
it's a working process because I've met a lot of guys that like even the pros, like guys that have been in the business forever, like David James Elliott. He was on Jag and stuff like that. I worked with him at Affairs of State,
Nice.
and it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if he was just tired or if he was just forgetting his lines, but he
Right.
was like, it definitely says this in the script, and like the director's getting kind of like we're all on the edge because it's 4 o'clock in the morning. We all want to go home. We've been on set for almost 12 hours,
Yep.
and we just, you just have that hard time memorizing lines
Yeah.
sometimes. And I think with him, it was like that. But I mean, even as long as he's been in the business, man,
Mhm.
it's like, you're always learning. Like there's never
Yeah.
a time you're not learning. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, do you consider yourself to be like a method actor or a character actor of any sorts?
um, I would say a character actor.
Okay.
I would definitely say a character actor, a little bit of method, you know.
Nice. Nice. So I get you're a horror film fan, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So what horror film or horror films or franchises got you your start into becoming a big fan of the horror genre?
The original Halloween. I mean, I know it's like so original and it's like such original
Yeah.
answer, but I really dig the original Halloween, and
Yeah.
I actually got to be a part of Halloween Kills as a EMT.
Nice.
Wasn't a very very big role, but I mean, it was definitely something that it was an experience. I mean, I was
Nice.
uncredited for it, but that's okay. I mean, I was there, I did it.
Yeah.
You don't always make the scenes, and
Yeah.
it's about what they want. I mean, what the director wants and what they just a certain image and a certain look that they're looking
Mhm.
for. But I still had a part in it, and I
Yeah.
mean, the Halloween movies is I'm definitely a fan of. Not really the Rob Zombie version. I don't think a lot of people like the
Yeah.
Rob Zombie. I heard that's a
Right.
lot of. I
Yeah.
heard a lot of mixed reviews about the Rob Zombie's
Right.
creation, but I mean,
Yep.
other than that, man, it's like definitely the Halloween movies and
Nice.
like the Friday the 13th and
Yeah.
Jasons and stuff like that. I dig those.
Yep. Absolutely. It's funny because I had Ken Foree from Rob Zombie's Halloween
Oh wow,
2007 on last night, which is pretty
that's
cool.
awesome, man.
Yeah, yeah, he was a great guy. He was a great guy. We spoke a little for Halloween,
Yeah,
a little of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, a little bit of Devil's
wow,
Rejects, Dawn of the Dead. So that was pretty cool. It was a good experience.
that's awesome,
Um,
man.
so what about what is your current favorite genre? Is it like do you have anything that reaches out to you now like that you really like?
Oh man, wow. I
A
mean,
lot of
I was a
choices.
big. I mean, the new Scream looks good.
Yeah.
The new Scream looks good. I actually got to do a little something in that. That
Nice.
wasn't much, but I mean, it was it. That was the experience.
Yeah.
Still waiting on my credit. But other than that, it's like I mean, that was. I mean, the new Scream was good. It was
Yeah.
definitely. I'm definitely a fan of the Scream franchise.
Nice. What did you do in the new Scream?
I was actually one of the pedestrians, and I was actually one of the Scream Face like doubles.
Okay, nice, nice. So you were like one of the like stunt guys under the ghost face mask?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice, nice. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thanks, man.
So I before I get into the last question, I have to ask you this because I mean I can't have you on the show and not ask this question. On Facebook and all your social media, you post a lot of inspirational quotes, memes,
Right.
statuses, and all that stuff. So what gave you your start into wanting to post these? Is there any specific reason for it?
As far as like the inspirational posts and stuff like that, it's like I mean I see, especially these days, you see a lot of social media, and I'm it's by no means by me like judging or anything like that,
Mhm.
but I mean when I got into this whole social media thing,
Mhm.
and that was like wow man, like MySpace, like that's years ago. I mean,
Yep.
seems like ancient artifact now, but I mean
Yeah.
when I first got into the whole social media game, it was to influence, to inspire,
Right.
because I mean, there's so many people now that are just out on social media just to
Yeah.
like, bash people and like,
Yeah.
put out negative energy and mostly politics. And like, I'm nothing against
Yeah.
politics, as far as
Right.
like, politics in the White House. Like, I mean, if that's what you do, whatever. But it's just one of those things that like, I mean, I'm not like, I want to inspire, like I want
Yeah.
to be an influence. That's exactly who I want to be remembered for, is
Right.
somebody that lifted somebody up, not,
Mhm.
cast them down and,
Mhm.
did all that type of stuff. So,
Absolutely. That's awesome because, and that's the two things I keep away from my social media is politics and religion because they always bring unneeded and unwanted drama
Oh
to
yeah,
my posts.
absolutely. I agree. I agree. I agree, man.
So the last question I got for you is any other projects in the works, social media accounts, websites, or anything at all that you would like to plug and promote to the listening and the viewing audience?
Wow. I mean, we have Wolf Hollow coming up. Mike
True.
Cantu's film. That's coming up real soon. The Indiegogo campaign's going on right now.
Hmm.
We've reached most of our goal. I'm not sure if we're going to go any further.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm going to be a Orstown deputy, and I'm also one of the producers on it as well.
Nice.
Um, wow, man, off the top of my head here. Um,
Hmm.
wow, yeah, Scary Stories Slumber Party. That's about finished. I think Dwayne's getting ready to crank that out here soon.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, it's been awesome being on here, man, and I'm glad I got the
Awesome.
chance to get up here and talk to you, man.
I am glad. I'm glad to have you too. I'm really grateful that you got to join me tonight. I mean, I wanted you on last month, and we had to reschedule. And I'm glad we can make it happen because I mean,
Yeah,
we've been talking a little bit, and you seem like a cool guy. And I know that you're big in the indie film making community, and obviously, we're all like a little knit family, and we all look
yeah,
out
yeah,
for each other.
absolutely,
And
man. That's how I look at it
yeah,
too, man. I mean, we're all in it together to make art. It's like, I
yep,
mean,
absolutely.
and you might have those two or three people or one or two people come up and that are trying to, like, I because when the whole story came
Mhm.
about with certain productions, and like I said, I hate to name names and I don't want to name names and stuff like that. Is just get out of the harm's way.
Yeah,
You should. It has no place in this industry in the first place. I mean,
yep,
we're here to make art. We're not here
yep.
to do other negative things. So
Absolutely. And people like myself who are attached to Halloween Evil Lives, you don't you will keep your good reputation if you don't support it after you find out about it. But once you find out about it and
definitely,
knowing that you know about it and then you still stick with the project, that's when you will go into sticky waters and you don't want to get into that territory because things like that happen. And I mean, you don't know, not everybody knows that productions are bad or they're not honest, but what and that's how you kind of find out. But once you find out, it follows like wildfire. People literally, it really like they want to be there for the people that they're friends with, and they really make sure that this
absolutely,
gets exposed because they don't want anybody else to lose money or lose any type of have any type of issues with this company. So yeah, but I
definitely.
thank you so much, Robert, for joining me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, if you want to have me on another time, I'm more than welcome,
Absolutely.
man. Like I said, I'm sorry I had to reschedule it the first time. I actually,
Nope,
like I
you're
said, I
fine.
actually just got in the door when you sent me the message. And I was like, okay, let me jump up here. This is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to have you on, and I'll definitely love to have you on at some time again. Absolutely.
Yeah,
You have a great rest of your day, night, buddy.
you too, man.
All right,
Take
bye.
care.
Yep, bye.